I'm Andrew Work with NextChange, and we are down at the Emtech Hong Kong Event. This is the MIT Technology Review event here in Hong Kong, and MIT, that means that they've brought together some of the smartest people in the world that are doing really cutting-edge work looking at the future. I'm here talking to Yingrui, who is the co-founder and chief scientist for iCarbonX. And he gave an absolutely fantastic, really mind-blowing presentation early today about the future of healthcare. And if you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way that I took what you're talking about is that there's all this data out there, how people think about different parts of their health. And how it affects them over different periods of life. So people might think, I've got to eat a probiotic yogurt to manage my personal biome, the bacteria in my gut on a day-to-day basis. Or they might say, maybe I should get tested for a gene that might lead me to having breast cancer in the future. That's kind of a lifetime decision. But that's a lot of data. People deal with that in a very chaotic fashion, moment to moment in their head. But no company or healthcare companies ever put that together so that they can really, predict what's going to happen with people. How are you going to address that?
So this is what iCarbonX is very propositioning. So we want to play as a data platform to serve as a data layer underneath all these different types of healthcare industry, to really build up a human-centric profile for each of our customer, and then that in each of the scenario that people would like to enjoy some type of healthcare service, no matter it's yogurt or it's some type of medical testing, so that at that decision point, we would like to integrate all the data together to make the whole picture decision rather than a specific local decision simply based on that vertical domain. So that's what we would like to do, and we hope that with the technology we are having, both on the biotech side as well as on the data technology side, we hope that our expertise on the cross-disciplinary science and technology could help us to leverage and to play as a neutral role in all of this healthcare industry, so that we can add value to their original service, and in exchange that we can get the access to the data, and we can cross scenario to streamline all the data together to make our service actually human-centric. So that's the key for us.
Okay. I mean, this is really interesting. You're taking genomics and you're taking artificial intelligence and deep learning, combining it all to get this broad, holistic picture.
Molecular dynamic profile as well. Proteins, RNAs, they change it day by day. So we are also taking care of those type of data. And also when we talk about mobile healthcare stuff, your step counter, maybe now you have continual like a EEG, ECG recorder, those type of things. We put all those different types of data together. They are all integrating together to make some good sense of how your health actually goes.
Okay.
So.
I mean, that was really interesting in your presentation, that you talked about this fact that it's not a static situation where you walk in, here's how you are now, and therefore we're going to treat you. You're getting continuous flow of information and then providing feedback to have predictive power. Can you tell us why that's so important and how healthcare companies are going to use that?
Okay. So let me put it at two sides. A short example would be currently people believe that you have hypertension when your blood pressure is over like 120 or and 80 and 80, but just put a very simple imagination. So if he has this 120 and 80 when he was at the age of 18, and now it's 20 years after, he's still like 120 and dash 80. It's pretty much stable thing. He's not really threatened. But if one is originally he has a relatively lower blood pressure, like 90-60, and now he's 100, something like that.
Yeah.
That means, although that doesn't hit the so-called the clinical threshold for this time, but if you look at the trend, the trend line of his life, that means something really serious is happening to his life. So the first thing is we need to think about as health is something that you need to manage, and it's a trend line of your own life. So it's you need to get multiple time points during your life profile so that you can actually draw your own picture, and nobody else actually knows. And secondly, back to the feedback thing is because now we have to integrate multiple domains knowledge together. That's including medical domain, including nutrition domain, including sports and exercise domain. So sometimes you need a one centralized algorithm or one centralized system that could make decisions by aggregating all those type of expertise together. And this is what we typically call, let's say, artificial intelligence. But the key thing for artificial intelligence is they need to keep on learning. Learning from whom? One is learning from different experts. Another one, most important, is actually learning from the user's feedback. So if you are saying, oh, this is nice, I really got into a good status. Now that is a positive praise. That gets a score, right? And you don't feel good about the treatment. That type of negative feedback also gives back to the system and to make it also smarter. You learn from those bad practices, right?
So the artificial intelligence isn't just learning because it's been programmed by experts who understand health, but it is actually learning based on the data that it is receiving on a continuous basis.
Yes. In the future, it's actually all those users' feedback actually helps most in the artificial intelligence system if we want to do a smart healthcare management.
Okay. This is really exciting stuff about how all these different technologies are coming together. I hope the computing world can keep up with you. Thank you very much for talking to NextChange. All right, we have the co-founder and chief scientist from iCarbonX. He is Yingrui. Thank you very much for talking with us today. I'm Andrew Work for NextChange. Thanks again.
Thank you.